This Minecraft world is 10 years old. And in this world, me and my siblings used to play when we were younger. It is filled with very, very ugly builds. But you have to understand, the times back then were very different. We used to have just a few blocks, now we have hundreds and hundreds of different colored blocks. The only colored block back then was wool, and that was everything. No concrete, no terracotta, no nothing, just wool. I think we can all safely assume that my skills in building have changed, at least a little bit. That we have many more blocks that we can use. That I'm more aware of how to build something, how to make it nice. And that I'm older, which also gives me some more experience. So I bet I would do a better job in building than I did 10 years ago. So we're gonna put that to a test. In this series I'm gonna try and rebuild some of these buildings and make them as nice as I can, whilst keeping the general style or idea of the building. I believe this yellow building behind me is one of the oldest buildings in this world. I think that was one of the first buildings that was built here by us. Let's go and see what's inside this building, and then we're gonna rebuild it. Just look at this road. Well, why did we just not make it look normal? I think this is a garage, and we wanted to have cars in it, but there's no cars in Minecraft. So we just built some rails and just pretended that it was cars. So apparently this was the dining room. There's the kitchen. So that's the ground floor. Let's go up. Alright, so this seems to be some kind of bedroom. What about this room? Oh, okay, another bedroom. So I think, if I remember correctly, this was the parents' bedroom. For some reason they have separated beds. And this is the children's bedroom, where they have a bunk bed. By the way, these bunk beds, I remember, they were very hard to build, because back then you couldn't just place a bed in the air as we can now, like you couldn't do this. No. First you had to take 2 blocks, then place a bed on top of them, then remove those blocks, and then put 1 bed below it. That was how you could make a bunk bed. There's this room upstairs, which leads to a bathroom over here, with this, which is, I suppose, should be a shower, but there's no water in it. And this, apparently a storage room. And there's also a balcony. Why is there a boat inside a wall? Okay, I don't understand. This is weird. This is the attic, where there's just 5 beds. So I think we can all agree that this house is just a horrible mess. Look at the windows, they don't match up. It looks so terrible. So I'm gonna attempt and rebuild this horrible mess. I wanna keep the colors and the shape. Yeah, let's do it. I made a color gradient, and I don't know if it's possible, but I feel like it looks even worse than before. Let's continue working on this. Alright, so I've rebuilt the roof, and I believe it looks at least a little bit better. Maybe you should do something with the garage. Yeah, I think that's much better. I'm starting to think maybe the gradient is too noisy. Is it better? I think it's better. I also realigned this door and this window. So let's do that on the other sides because this is a total mess. I'm not sure about the balcony right now, I may change that later. But at least all of the windows are now aligned as they should be, which has so much improved the building. So the next step is to make the windows look a bit better. Alright, so I would say all of the windows look a little bit more alive with all these flower pots. I'd call this a massive improvement. Now let's go have a look on the inside. Starting off with the garage. Alright, so it's not much. I've just put in this little wheelbarrow, but otherwise just some barrels. So now let's move our attention to the dining room. Alright, so this is the new dining table. I think it's definitely an improvement. That would be the kitchen. As you can see, I've added some drawers, a sink. This fridge is original, I've just moved it. The same goes for the cake. And I've got this microwave over here. And I've got some tools at the side of the blocks. And we've got some random food just lying around. Some fish cooking. Let's move on to the next room. So yeah, I think this room is done as well. We have a little bed. We have this desk, that would be the children's bedroom as well. We still got the bunk bed because I like the idea. I've got some cupboards. We've got some toys and everything over here. And we've got a desk where the children can make their homework. So let's move on to the next room. So this would be the living room. There's not much going on, there's just a TV and this little chair over here. And I've also improved the balcony. I've put these lecterns in. I think that looks better. This bathroom is finished as well. We've got this bathtub, the sink, we've got the toilet, and we've got a mirror. So let's move on to this room. This is the storage room. The storage room is now finished as well. I've tried to make it look very cramped in here. I've used some cobwebs to make it look ancient. I've used these ender chests for lighting. Oh, and I've added a little campfire to the living room. So now the chimney does actually make sense. Well, now the final room needs to be done, and that's the attic. So now the whole house should be all finished. Let's do a before and after.